All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a BCL official match. I'm your host today, Gibular Bob, and this was requested through the VRML. So I know I'm probably not the typical person that you would be expecting to cast this, but tonight we have a match between Ultraviolent and Wonkru. Wonkru. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I get a lot of names wrong, so I apologize. And everyone's warming up in the kill house right now as we wait for the players to show up. As we have, looks like 3 players from Ultraviolent right now and 3 players from Wonkru. So we have Blue Dog USA, Ripster, Stanky on the Ultraviolent side. And then on Wonkru we have Dr. Phil Good, Luke DV, Pokey Logan, and we have Rim right now as Wonkru win the kill house. But of course they already had some time fighting the bots, so that's not an indication of how it's going to go during the match. It could go any way. But actually, Ultraviolent got very close to coming back and winning. It was only 51 to 60. So BCL works a little differently from VRML. As I've come to find out by reading the rules, BCL is a best of 3, while VRML requires teams to play all 3 maps in order to determine the rankings. How's it going to everyone in the chat? Glad to see you here. And of course, if you do enjoy the stream, please make sure to drop a follow, as it would really help me out here. So it looks like we have 4 of the Ultraviolent teammates. We've got Blue Dog USA, Ripster, Stanky, and Dakin. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm so sorry if I don't get these right. As we are at 9:29. So our match is about to enter its 10-minute grace period, I think, for the other team to get in their last player. Do I have a 2-minute delay on? I'm not sure. Does BCL require a delay? Official matches require that. Okay, thank you. I may have to shut down the stream for a minute if that's the case. Unless I can do that from settings. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. No, not a watch party. What have I done? I don't want to choose interests right now. Settings. Oh no, we're starting the match. Okay. Normal latency. Okay, I think I did it. Perfect. Okay, there should be a reasonable delay on it now, as we're going to kind of miss the first round here, or the beginning of the bye phase. As it looks like Wonkru is going to breach the garage, as we have Pokelogan with the drone right now. Apologies, the delay threw me a bit behind here. As the gym wall gets broken, Emilio and Rim go into blue storage. As Rim takes out Philibus gets Emilio. Luke DV takes out Ripster with the headshot, as Luke goes in through the garage, and Dr. Feelgood takes out Stanky. It's now a 2 versus 4. Luke takes out Dakin, and now it's just down to Blue Dog USA. Sorry, just checking the screen. And Dr. Feelgood takes out Blue Dog USA with the headshot. Yeah, we should have the latency we need now. Thank you. I will look into that race. I will look into that. I do have. I could use some tips. There is some stuff that I'm a little fuzzy on now. Let's take a look at our eco for round 2, and we're seeing that Wonkru is definitely pulling up the Vesins right now. Luke, who dropped, I believe, was that? Okay, Luke dropped 2 kills. Dr. Phil dropped 2 kills. So we're seeing a Vezin from Emilio and Luke, as Dr. Phil, Pokelogan go for the eco. Oh, Luke also going for the eco. Looks like Emilio is the only one buying a Vezin on round 2. Everyone else looking to pad their pockets a little bit. And it looks like it's going to be a family room breach, with Pokelogan and Rim possibly blowing the hatch, while Emilio and Luke potentially breach from the family room balcony. We'll see. Yeah, that hatch definitely gets blown up, though. And Rim and Pokelogan looking in to find any kind of kills, as Pokelogan gets ready to drone. And Emilio and Dr. Phil blow out the family room balcony, but no one is in there right now. Looks like Stanky is roaming for quite a delayed roam as Rim drops in. And it looks like the bathroom wall is going to be blown as Rim foams it. And Emilio going for some shots on it, as Philibust takes some pot shots from the closet. And it looks like Stanky is getting ready to infiltrate from behind, or should I say from below. Checking downstairs really quick. So we have some gunfire being exchanged. And Rim taking some shots into the bathroom. There we go. Blue Dog USA in the closet right now as Philibus takes out Dr. Feelgood. And Luke takes out Philibus. Dakin is taken down by Rim, and Blue Dog USA takes down Rim in exchange. And Amelia takes out Blue Dog USA as the EMP is planted, and time is now thrown in favor of the attackers. Amelia takes out Ripster, and it's now down to Stanky, who looks to have missed the chance to do some damage on Wonkru by not going up the stairs. And this is going to be a bit tough for Stanky here. The EMP has less than 30 seconds, and Wonkru is quite spread out. But stranger things have happened, I suppose, as Stanky now makes the corner, the bedroom. Checking the door in B site, running out of time, as Luke takes out Stanky with the headshot from the Vezin. And Wonkru will take round 2 as we move on to round 3. And let's take a look at our scoreboard really quick. Philibust on top of the Ultraviolent leaderboard with 2-2. Blue Dog 1-2. Dakin 0-2. Stanky 0-2. And Ripster 0-2. Philibus, the only person on Ultraviolent right now going neutral. And actually, no one is going negative on Wonkru with Luke 4-0. A very impressive start. Rim 2-1. Emilio 2-1. Dr. Phil 2-1. And Logan going 0-0. But Ultraviolent isn't out of this yet. We're seeing Vezins coming out from both sides. Everyone was smart to eco the last round, so that it's going to be a little more even this round, as looks like Wonkru is stacking 2 players outside, Luke and Emilio, as we have one checking the peak Logan from the laundry room, and Dr. Phil and Rim are floating around in the middle over by the garage. Rim checking the storage area, as we hear the drone popping from Logan, and the foyer and front door are broken as the ensign is popped. And the drone, we do have Ripster taking shots at it. Doesn't quite hit that drone, as Blue Dog USA takes cover behind the table. And Emilio is going to go up. And Blue Dog could potentially have a shot, as Emilio takes Ripster. And it does get taken down by Blue Dog. Dr. Phil still watching the foyer, as Luke takes out Blue Dog. And Logan infiltrates from laundry room. They're having a great map control right now as Dakin and Philibust. And where's Stanky? Stanky is upstairs right now. Dakin and Philibust are the only two in Site B right now defending it, as Philibust is actually in the pantry right now. Stanky does take out Dr. Phil Good from the upstairs and looks to possibly flank through the family room, as Dakin is taken out by Logan, and it's now down to a 2 versus 3 with Philibust and Stanky, the only 2 left on Ultraviolent. And Philibust is taken out by Logan. EMP is getting planted right now, and Stanky is killed by Logan with the headshot. And Wonkru take round 3 from Ultraviolent. So this is going to force Ultraviolent into an eco. And one player has actually already left Ultraviolent. I'm not quite sure who we lost there. Oh, it was Philibust. But Philibust has returned. Let's hope there's no kind of connection problems, because that would only add to the trouble that Ultraviolent is currently facing right now, as Wonkru starting to stack the eco. We have a full team of Vezins, and we have 2 heals, 2 cloaking devices, some frags and some breaching foam, and a flash as we find the sites up on 2nd floor. And it looks like Stanky is once again roaming in the kitchen for a delayed roaming. I think a problem that Stanky's having is just being a little too late. When you're roaming, you really kind of want to make sure that you arrive on time, because otherwise your teammates are getting hung out to dry and you're just not there fast enough. So Stanky is going to need to pick up the pace a little bit in order to assist the teammates of Ultraviolent, as Dr. Phil Good breaks into the family room from the 1st floor, and Emilio in on the 2nd, on the balcony. As the hatch is broken, Logan is droning into B, as Blue Dog is waiting there, and we're going to see another breach into the bathroom as Emilio watches the rotation into bedroom, and there's a static right there. Ultraviolent was expecting Wonkru to breach this again, as a flash goes in, and a bad frag, but it does take out the static field emitter, as Logan takes out Philibust, and Blue Dog USA is killed by Luke DV. Dakin in the bathroom is taken out by Luke, and the EMP has been planted, and it's just down to Stanky again, who once again is just a little bit too late and comes behind the Wonkru players, as Luke notices. Stanky is overwhelmed by Dr. Phil Good and just the entire team, And it's that was a pretty brutal round, very decisive for Wonkru as they look to cement their lead further. It's now 4-0. Round 5. Ultraviolent is definitely going to want to get some points here. And luckily for them, they've all afforded some Vezins again, and they're going to need it. They absolutely have to get some rounds here on Wonkru. Otherwise, Wonkru is going to completely cement their lead going into halftime, as that's actually going to be next round. So we're going to need to see Ultraviolent kind of step up their game here. Stanky. Looks like Stanky is sticking to the site this time. Yeah, Stanky just, again, arriving a little bit too late on the scene every time they went roaming. As Filibust now looks to take over the position on the big stairs. And it looks like it's going to be a breach from potentially Arcade Wine Cellar as Dr. Feelgood and Rim get ready to open up the door over there. And Emilio and Pokelogan drone through Wine Cellar. And there's 4 there. Where's the last one? Is Luke up on the roof. Comes out of nowhere, cloaked. And let's ride on board with Dr. Feelgood and Rim right here. As they're potentially... Oh, yep, they're going to open up the wall through Arcade. And if they blow that now, Dr. Phil is, definitely has a clear shot right on Dakin. Dr. Phil kills Blue Dog USA. And Dakin almost taken out by the wallbang. Dakin is taken out by the wallbang from Rim. And Rim blows the wall into the bar as Stanky takes out Dr. Feelgood. And Ripster playing the boiler room as Rim does notice that. Rim takes out Ripster with the headshot. Oh, as Filibust comes in with the roam and takes out both Rim and Emilio. And that's really where Stanky was kind of lacking when they were on the roll. As Filibust comes in at the right time and does get the jump on Wonkru. And it's now just down to Luke versus Stanky and Filibust. And Luke doesn't quite know that Filibust is approaching from behind as Stanky is taking some shots at the wall. Filibust moving quietly as to get the jump on Luke. And Stanky does pop that heel. And they're smart to watch behind. But of course, this is a crossroads here, as Stanky could potentially come through the boiler. And Filibust is about to round the corner, potentially getting Luke completely off guard. And Luke is looking the wrong way and is taken out by Filibust. And Ultraviolent get their first round as they both recover stims, 2 stims. So they're going into the next round. Oh, that's right. It was halftime. Wait, no. No, okay. No, this is halftime. So they do recover those syringes, as we have 2 Vezins, one from Stanky, one from Filibust, as Blue Dog goes for the RL, and Ripster hasn't picked Ripster and Dakin both going Vezins. And another full stack of Vezins coming from Wonkru. And they're back on the second floor again, which seems to be the site where Wonkru has the most luck with their breaches. It could potentially be another bathroom breach. Ultraviolent is having a lot of problems dealing with this, and it seems to be working. But it looks like Wonkru may potentially be changing up the strategy, as they know it might not work again. Dr. Phil watching the hallway just outside of bedroom. This Filibust is right over there. And Filibust at the end of the hallway, and Rib takes out 2 with a headshot. Gets both Filibust and Stanky. As Pokelogan is droning on the hatch, and Amelia takes out Dakin. And just like that, it's now down to a 5 versus 2 as Ripster and Blue Dog, the only 2 Ultraviolent players left standing, as Pokelogan drops, and Ripster will take out Pokelogan, pre-firing with the Vezin, but does get taken out by Luke. And it's now just down to Blue Dog, who is running the RL very laggy, as Luke kills Blue Dog and cements that 1-5 lead going into the second half. And let's take a look at our leaderboard really quick. On top of the Wonkru, leaderboard is currently Rim, followed by Luke in second with a 9-1 game. This is a very, very impressive game by Luke so far, especially because we're only approaching the half. Poke Logan with a 5-2, Emilio 4-3, and Dr. Phil Good 4-3. Everyone on Wonkru is going positive right now, which is very good for a team to do. As we see over on Ultraviolent, Filibust on is first with 5-5, Stanky with the 3-5, Blue Dog with the 2-6, Ripster 1-6, and Dakin with 0-6. So Ultraviolent has a lot of work to do going into the second half. They can still win this potentially, but they're going to need a lot of coordination, and they're going to need to stop this momentum that Wonkru is bringing, because they're quite dominant right now. But this is their chance to bring things back, as it looks like we're going to breach Garage, and it looks like the league settings are incorrect right now. We'll fix that in just a minute. Caps lock, sorry. As Filibust, Dakin, and Stanky all go in through the Garage, and Ripster and Blue Dog potentially pushing in storage, and Stanky takes out Emilio as Rim is cornered and taken out, and that was a very impressive play. A lot of coordination there. Smoke is thrown into the gym as Dr. Phil is shooting at Filibust, Blue Dog. And Dr. Phil does take out Filibust, and Blue Dog is planting. Blue Dog is incredibly low on 4 health, and it's Ripster, Dakin, and Stanky out there in storage. Excuse me, Ripster's outside right now. Dakin, Blue Dog, and Stanky in storage as Poke Logan looks to flank, potentially. And it's right outside with that Jesper. Oh, but Stanky knows and does take some shots at Poke Logan. Peeking in, and Ripster is currently watching for any kind of sign of life. They know that Dr. Phil is right there, and Dr. Phil has yet to push out, and Dr. Phil does push out. Poke Logan takes out Blue Dog USA. Stanky takes out Poke Logan. Stanky takes out Dr. Phil, and it's now just down to Luke, and Luke is taken out by Ripster, and Ultraviolent win that round. And this is good for them. This is what they need, because they need to get that momentum on Wonkru. Who has a 5 points. They have a 3-round lead over them. All right, let's fix this time. There we go. All good. I know they were Wonkru for a round there, but now they're back to Wonkru. As the sites are going to be on the second floor this time. And who knows, we might see that same bathroom play that we've seen before from Ultraviolent. It seems to be a very common play. All right, as Ripster, Blue Dog, and Stanky, Stanky and Blue Dog taking the porch, as well as Dakin. Ripster going up for the hatch there. Dakin following. And Filibust also taking the porch. So it looks like it's going to be a bedroom push this time, as Luke just runs past the door and Stanky looks to catch. Luke takes out Stanky with the headshot. Luke with the double kill. Double headshots on Stanky. Luke with the triple on Dakin. Is so low, runs outside as Dr. Phil flanks behind and saves Luke, who gets the heal. What a crazy play as Ripster takes out Luke TV. Oh my goodness. What a play. As Ripster does take out Dr. Phil Good. And Wonkru finish off Ripster. Rim actually takes that final kill there. What a crazy play. Let's talk about how, yeah, it was Luke was in there and took out 3 of them and ran outside while the teammate comes behind and kills off, was it? I don't think it was Rim. Whoever the Ultraviolent player was, that was attacking Luke. That was crazy. That's one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. Oh, man. As Wonkru on match point. And Ultraviolent has a lot of work to do. They need to tie this game up now. They can't win it anymore. So they're going to need to look to tie it as the Vezins come into play here. And Ultraviolent affords 3 of them. And they're really going to need to go all in on this round because they don't have any rounds to fall back on. They either win here and keep the match going, or they lose. And the first map goes to Wonkru. Dakin blows up the door into blue storage, and it looks like they're going to try the same exact play as last time, as Blue Dog and Stanky go in, but Dr. Phil is actually upstairs waiting in the foyer. As Luke waits behind the boxes, it's going to stay hidden as Rim is probably going to be used to bait out the Ultraviolent players. And let's not forget that the gym wall is broken, so Emilio is exchanging fire there as the hatch is blown and Ripster does take out Rim. Luke takes out Ripster as Blue Dog drops. And Blue Dog takes out Luke. And Dr. Phil drops, but drops in front of Blue Dog. Dr. Phil taking out Stanky before going down. And it's now up to Pokelogan as Emilio is killed. Oh, and Pokelogan drops a frag down and takes out Blue Dog USA. EMP is getting planted right now by Dakin. Oh, as Pokelogan takes out Filibust. And this could potentially be the closeout for Wonkru. As Dakin looks to go around for the flank. And Pokelogan actually doesn't realize that Dakin has gone around. Oh, but now knows. And takes out Dakin. And now all that's left is to defuse the EMP, which Pokelogan will do. And Wonkru, just like that, have won the first map with a 7-2 lead. Wow. Wow. A crazy performance by Wonkru. Especially Luke. Luke did some really cool stuff that game. Let's take a look at our scoreboard here. Pokelogan ended up being the top fragger for Wonkru with a 9-3. Rim with a 7-4. Luke 13-4. Very impressive score. Dr. Phil with the 7-6. And Emilio, the only one on the team to go negative, 4-5. As on Ultraviolent, Filibust. All players on Ultraviolent, by the way, did go negative. Filibust with the 7-8. Ripster 6-8. Blue Dog 3-9. Stanky 6-7. And Dakin 0-8. So it's a bit of a rough match for Ultraviolent. I believe they do get the opportunity to pick the map now. I'm not sure who's the higher ranked team out of the two, but I would assume it's Wonkru. And it looks like second map is going to be Factory. And one thing, a trend that I've noticed is that a lot of teams really don't want to play Skyscraper and they kind of want to save it to last. Which hurts me a bit on the inside because Skyscraper is my favorite map. But looking at our eco for round one, Dr. Phil and Luke are going to be running the Spectrals. And let's actually fix the league settings here. Yeah, Wonkru is on Enforcers. Yeah, so this is Ultraviolent. Okay, I spelled it right. That's good. Depending on the on which map it is, the teams do get to pick one team gets to pick which side they start on, and one team gets to pick the map. So it looks like it's actually going to be a breach from Orange Storage. This Ripster is just outside of Janitor, where Dr. Phil is, and Stanky upstairs, potentially going for the peak. And the frag is tossed, but it doesn't hit any of the Wonkru players. Ripster's still just outside of storage as Luke, Rim, and Emilio all go into orange storage. Dr. Phil goes in, and Ripster is on the move. About to round the corner, but doesn't quite do it in time, as the wall is now being blown. Let's see if we can find Ripster here. Ripster just outside of Generator, as Luke takes out Stanky. Dakin takes out Emilio. And Ripster is on the move, but is cut off by Pokelogan, and does get Pokelogan, but now on the run and fended off, as Wonkru is stranded in orange storage right now. And Luke is taken out by Dakin. And it's now just down to Rim, who is watching the door. Does have a Cyclone, and is quite low on health, 43 to be exact. So it's going to be difficult, because this is a 4K that you have to do, and they have 2 heals, and they're running Spectrals except for Ripster, who has the Jesper. So what do you do if you're Rim in this situation? I mean, there's not really any point in saving. You might as well try and secure a kill maybe before going down. It's all about, kind of doing as much damage as you can, or potentially saving the Cyclone to eco for another round. There are a few choices. As Dakin may have noticed Rim. Yeah, Dakin definitely noticed Rim. And they're going for the wall bangs right now, as Rim is on the move towards Electrical, just outside of A. And Ripster's waiting in there. Oh, and Rim takes some shots at Ripster, but it's not quite enough, as Dakin looks to catch him in the hallway, and Rim is taken down by Dakin. And Ultraviolent taking the first round on Factory. So potentially they've had the time to warm up now, and they have the round 2 Vezin coming out from Dakin, who's going all in on this, and Wonkru are looking to eco, because they need to save money in order to get those Vezins next round. Dakin's going to want to make good use of this Vezin, because it could be the difference between getting another round for Ultraviolent and stunting their economy a bit on Wonkru, and potentially giving Wonkru a Vezin to use. So Dakin will need to be very careful, especially because they are running both the heal and the Vezin. It looks like potentially a hatch play here, or orange stairs, as Stanky, Ripster, all roaming. And Philibus is actually roaming too. There's only 2 players in the sites right now. This might be a tough breach for Wonkru, as they're waiting outside of orange stairs, and Philibus is right there. Philibus absolutely knows that they're there now, because they watched the door right in front of them. Philibus taking out Rim. EMP has been dropped, and the hatch is blown. And Stanky coming up the stairs. Stanky takes out Emilio quite faster this time with the roaming. That's good for Stanky. As Dr. Phil takes out Blue Dog USA, Dr. Phil is actually over here in Generator. Hold up in there with the Spectral and 48 health. Let's see what Dr. Phil can do. Yeah, I'd probably want to get out of there too, because it's very likely that Ultraviolent would have pushed Dr. Phil, as Luke is currently in the blue hallway, and Pokelogan is watching over at orange stairs, shooting out the bathroom window, potentially trying to bait out an Ultraviolent player. The window's broken right there, and Philibus is actually at the top of the orange stairs. Pokelogan looks to go in. Oh, and Philibus is taken out by Luke and Pokelogan with that assist, and it's now down to a 3 versus 3. Dakin does still have that Vezin. That's going to come into play here very soon. And Ripster takes out Dr. Phil Good, who came back through Generator. And Ultraviolent potentially getting this round, but we'll see. as Luke and Pokelogan are the only two left. Luke did recover a syringe, and Pokelogan has that cloaking device. Pokelogan also picking up the the EMP and going through the blue hallway. A little low on ammo in the spectral there. So Pokelogan is going to need to make every shot count, as Luke potentially, I'm not quite sure, waiting for Pokelogan to die so they get another chance. I'm not quite sure what Luke is doing as Pokelogan enters just outside of locker. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, and maybe Wonkru might want to start thinking about ecoing, saving the syringe. It's possible, but it looks like Pokelogan is going to push in and is taken out by Stanky. And it's now down to a 1 versus 3. Luke is definitely saving the syringe. I think that's what Luke was doing out here, which is smart. You want to have as much advantage as you can going into the next round, as Ultraviolent take that second round on Wonkru. Or potentially Luke had to go AFK for a moment. Okay, and let's take a look at our leaderboard here. Dakin is having a great game so far. 3-0. Stanky 2-1. Philibus 2-1. Ripster 2-0. Currently a flawless game. And Blue Dog, the only teammate to go negative with an 0-1 right now. It's not bad. You can always come back from that. As over on Wonkru, Luke is on top with a 2-1. The only person on Wonkru to go positive during the game. And Dr. Phil will be going 1-2 as Pokelogan 0-2, Rim 0-2, and Emilio 0-2. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. And the sites are going to be the kitchen, and I think this is offices. I believe this is office, the one just right off of control room. And let's see where. Oh, it looks like Wonkru is going to be breaching in through the blue stairs, as 4 other players are there. And I think Luke has come back. I'm not quite sure. As they look to breach through the lobby. Emilio, Rim, and Dr. Phil. Pokelogan staying up top and droning for the team. And this is a good fast entry, and they're definitely going to go for this wall right here into Site B. And this is a play you don't often see, so this could be good. This could be advantageous. Wonkru is running 3 Vezins this time, but Ultraviolent has a full stack of Vezins. So this will be a bit of a tough breach for Wonkru, as Stanky is roaming downstairs again, and Pokelogan is going to hop in through the blue stairs. Emilio out there as well. And Philibus takes out Pokelogan as shots are being exchanged from Museum into Site B, and Stanky is approaching. And Luke and Rim taking fire from Philibus. And Dr. Phil takes out Philibus as Dakin and Blue Dog are sitting around the server room. Dakin takes out Luke TV. Luke TV takes out Blue Dog. Stanky takes out Emilio. Stanky with the flank. And Stanky is much better with those flanks this time around. And that really came into play there because Stanky caught Wonkru completely off guard. I think they droned it and they thought that no one would be roaming. I think that Wonkru thought that all of their bases were covered with that drone, but not quite. As Ultraviolet tapping into the reserves there to give Stanky a Vezin. And this looks like it's going to be an orange storage breach as Stanky goes upstairs for the roaming. Yeah, Stanky doing a much better job with the flanks. I think needed to get warm up on hideout a bit, or maybe was thrown off by the pacing of Wonkru. But Ultraviolent has gotten it together so far, as they have a 3-0 lead over Wonkru. And it looks like, well, Dr. Phil is currently upstairs. Luke and Logan looks like they're going to be breaching through the second floor through Printer. Emilio, Dr. Phil, Rim, Luke, they're all going in, as Logan is typically the droner. Yeah, and Logan does have that drone. Oh, Stanky's upstairs in the museum. Could potentially be cut off by Luke. Oh, and takes out Luke. And Stanky is running, which is a very smart decision, as there were 3 Wonkru players up there that could very easily outnumber them. And the Logan is droning right now, just misses where Stanky ran off to, as Wonkru appears to be clearing out the first floor. And it's a 1 versus 4 as Logan drops down and breaks the window just outside of Orange Storage. Is taken down by Dakin. And it's now a 3 versus 5. And Wonkru potentially in a lot of danger here. They have blown the hatch into A, and Stanky is waiting down there for them. And Stanky throws a frag up through the hatch. I wasn't sure who threw that at first, but Stanky threw it and takes out Emilio. And does get Dr. Phil quite low. And this isn't good for Wonkru, because Rim is running a Jesper, and Dr. Phil is running a Spectral and a Breaching Foam. So I think they're going to abandon the hatch play there, as Stanky has a very good angle over that right now. And Blue Dog takes out both Rim and Dr. Phil from behind in the server room. And Ultraviolent, who had a pretty bad first map on Hideout, has really gotten it together. They have a 4-0 lead over Wonkru right now. And Wonkru clearly struggling. I don't know if Hideout was a good map for them, or Factory isn't a good map for them. But yeah, they're in a bad way over there right now. Luke is the only player on their team going neutral, and Dr. Phil and Emilio have a combined kill of 3, which matches Luke. Everyone else has died 4 times. So yeah, Wonkru definitely needs to pick it up here. Otherwise, they're going to get completely closed out before halftime, and potentially going into the second half with a 6-0 lead from Ultraviolent. Let's talk about Stanky. Stanky with the 6-1, and Dakin actually with the 5-0. These 2 players have really been putting in the work for Ultraviolent in this second map. Just makes you wonder, you know, what took him that first map. We've seen a complete turnaround in the performance of these teams. As some fire is exchanged in the blue hallway between Ripster and Dakin, and Rim does take out Ripster. Dakin with the headshot on Emilio. You see a couple wild pings there, trying to catch Dakin, as Stanky downstairs does catch one on blue stairs and is taken out by Rim. Stanky's flank is going to be shut down this time, as it's now down to a 3 versus 3. Blue Dog, Dakin, and Philibust are all watching over A site, as Logan upstairs blows out the hatch, and Philibust takes out Rim. And Logan potentially looking to catch Philibust off guard, chasing Philibust, but walks into the frag grenade as Philibust takes out Logan, and it's now just down to Luke. Luke gets the headshot on Blue Dog USA, is setting off that proximity alarm, takes out the procs. Oh, and takes some shots through the wall. Does get the heal off, though. And Luke does have quite a difficult battle against Dakin and Philibust, who are both running Vezins with heals. And Wonkru really kind of went all in on this round. Not a whole lot of players have that money left over, as Luke swings in and is taken down by a headshot from Philibust. It's now 5-0 in what we saw actually the exact same thing last game, except with Ultraviolent on the receiving end of it. And it's just such a bizarre series of events how Ultraviolent went from their performance on Hideout to their performance on Factory. And the way things are going right now, it looks like I will get my wish, and we'll see what happens on Skyscraper. Wish it will be our tiebreaker. As we have a bot yell on Ultraviolent taking over for Stanky. Let's hope Stanky can reconnect, or we can get a sub in there. And that's not good. Oh, kicked. Okay. Well, let's hope Stanky can get back in. Because, okay, there we go. Stanky is back in. As we have potentially an assembly play from Wonkru. Amelia, I'm not quite sure what Amelia is doing. Watching the window there. That's typically a bad spot to be in because you're pinched by the window off of kitchen, the bathroom, and the orange stair window just above. Dakin actually right on the other side of the wall as both Rim and Dr. Phil drop into hatch. And Stanky is waiting there. Stanky takes out Dr. Phil, taking some shots at Rim, but retreats back into Site B. And Poke Logan takes out Dakin, who peeked the window. And Emilio enters in through the bathroom. They're looking to kind of close off the angles there. Dakin was actually running double heels. That could be very advantageous if Wonkru picked that up. It is halftime, by the way. So after this, they will switch the sides as Rim and Luke are still in assembly. And Emilio is in control room. And there's a door blocker blocking off the entrance between A and this hallway here. As Blue Dog throws an instant over there. But Rim has other plans as they intend to breach through the wall there as Blue Dog is in the back of the room. And Ripster just out in kitchen. And Rim and Luke both in the control room as Emilio does take that frag and kills Stanky with it. And it's now a 3 versus 4. And Ripster and Blue Dog exchanging fire. Trying to burn down the clock a little bit. Making sure that no one is flanking. Interesting trip mine placement there. Is the EMP being planted? It is being planted. It's planted in Site B as Luke was there waiting for Blue Dog USA and Philibus takes out Emilio. Philibus takes out Luke TV and Philibus is taken out by Poke Logan and it's now a 1 versus 2 with Ripster needing to take out Poke Logan and Rim and defuse the EMP. Quickly snaps over to Rim and takes out Rim and it's now just down to Poke Logan, who Ripster knows is definitely coming from kitchen, but needs to move for the EMP to go and get the defuse, and this will help with this angle here. Takes out Poke Logan, and Ultraviolent are going to go into the second half with a 6-0 score. They have won the draw on this map, and all they need is a little more push, and they can win the entire map. And even out the scores going into the third map, which would be Skyscraper. So I am going to, at this point, it looks like I'm going to get my wish. I definitely am. Yeah, because they can still tie it. So we are going to go on to that third map. And what an incredible performance by Ultraviolent, who completely came back and returned the treatment that Wonkru gave him the last time back here, because this was, if you remember, this is what happened exactly. The same thing happened exactly the same on Hideout, except with the roles reversed, and Wonkru went into the second half with 6 rounds, as Ultraviolent went into the second half with 0. So it's kind of funny how these things work, as it looks like it's going to be a potential orange storage breach. Although it looks like Dakin's going to go through orange stairs. Oh, as Luke V is already waiting up on orange stairs. Dakin taking a defensive position. Luke not quite on the move yet, waiting for a little more action as orange storage is broken into by Ripster. And Stanky will go into the hallway. Stanky will go into janitor, and Blue Dog will go into the window just outside of orange storage. And they're Ultraviolent looking to break open the wall into A. And Luke is on the orange stairs right now, just behind the Ultraviolent team, potentially putting Stanky's counterplay to good use here. Stanky is actually on 92 health as Rim does take some damage. And Poke Logan takes out Philibust, and Luke finds that kill on Dakin, who has dropped the EMP just outside of orange storage. And if you're Ultraviolent, what do you do here? Because you're kind of surrounded at this point. And Blue Dog is definitely watching for Luke's counterplay. Dr. Phil watching from the closet there. And Blue Dog takes out Luke, who goes around for the flank play, is taken out by Rim. Oh, and Emilio was waiting there for Ripster. And now it's just down to Stanky. And Wonkru has reversed this round on Ultraviolent. Stanky goes in, takes some shots at Rim. It does take out Rim, but is in danger from Dr. Phil. In the connector, Dr. Phil will take out Stanky and give that first round to Wonkru. And Wonkru not quite out of this yet. They're going to go for the tie. Try and deny that point from Ultraviolent, which they absolutely don't want to give them at all costs. And let's take a look at our scoreboard here. We haven't looked at that in a while. Luke is on top of the Wonkru leaderboard. Again, still the only player on the team to go neutral. With 6-6, Rim 3-7, Dr. Phil 3-6, Poke Logan 3-6, and Emilio 3-6. And Ultraviolent, Stanky still on top of that leaderboard with 9-4, Philibust 8-4, Blue Dog 4-5, Dakin 6-2, and Ripster 4-3. Blue Dog is the only member of Ultraviolent right now to be going negative. As Ultraviolent still on match point. And the sites are going to be over on the second floor this time of the factory. And Ultraviolent looking to breach through orange stairs again. As 4 of them move in upstairs. And it's going to be potentially a very fast rush as they get ready to blow the kitchen hatch. But it doesn't look like that's their intentions. As Stanky moves downstairs, but is taking some shots from the well-armed Wonkru, who all have Vezins, and a very, very big eco from Ultraviolent. As Rim takes out Stanky. And Dakin is the only one on orange ships right now. Ripster does take out Poke Logan with that Jesper. And Rim is taken out by Ripster. Rim takes out Ripster. Amelia takes out Blue Dog. And it's now just down to Dakin and Philibust. And Philibust takes out Dr. Phil. Dakin heading back upstairs. Philibust does have that Vezin. And has taken some hits. Runs in front of the wall. Almost gets wallbanged. Not quite. As Dakin heads upstairs to enter through the lobby. And they're kind of separated right now, as Philibust looks to go possibly through assembly into control room. Philibust just outside the hallway right now, in assembly, going into control room, but Rim, is on the other side of the wall there. Emilio is waiting, but Emilio catches Philibust. And Dakin is actually just outside in control room. It's unclear whether Emilio knows. Oh, now they do. And Dakin is taken out by Rim. And Wonkru have won that second round of the second half. So we'll see. This is last time. This is where Wonkru won the game, and potentially Ultraviolent might win it this time, as they now have enough money for the Vezins. They're going to look to close out this game on this round. Otherwise, you're going to be forced to eco again, and it'll be potentially another 1, maybe 2 rounds before they will have these Vezins. So they're going all in. Everyone's buying each other their points, and they're going to try and close out the game right now, which is smart. And it's do or die for them right here, because they're going to have to wait, like, again, a few rounds before they can afford those Vezins again. So Wonkru, this is very important that Wonkru does, well, they're trying to eco a little bit, but it's very important that they win this round. Not because it'll just end the game for Ultraviolent, but also because they really need to win this if they're to have any hope in tying this game up. As Ripster goes to drone the hatch. Blue Dog and Dakin watching blue stairs. Stanky watching blue hallway. Takes out Dr. Phil, who was running the Taurus. But it looks like maybe Wonkru now knows that it's a full push from blue hallway, as the players seem to have rotated out of there. Luke and Rim both watching A right now, as Dakin opens up the generator. And it doesn't look like... Oh, Ripster does have foam. But Ripster is currently out in the hallway as Pokelogan in lockers. And Luke is in the cubby. And the wall for A has been blown open. Ultraviolent, again, looking to get in there and finish off Rim and Luke. Emilio keeping an eye on B as Rim takes out Blue Dog. Pokelogan takes out Ripster. Pokelogan has a good flank as Rim takes out Philibust. Luke takes out Stanky, and it's now just down to Dakin, who gets rushed by Luke. And the EMP has been planted, but it's going to be a defuse from Luke. And Wonkru have won this round, which is incredible. They needed to win this round so badly, because this really puts the hurt on Ultraviolent, who's starting to falter a little bit. They were so dominant in the defense portion of this match, and now they're having a whole lot of trouble here. Rim is now going positive. Actually, most of the Wonkru players, well, 2 of them are going positive. Rim with the 8-7 and Luke with the 8-6. Emilio 5-6. Pokelogan 4-7. And Dr. Phil 3-8. Meanwhile, over on Ultraviolent, Stanky 10-6. Philibust 9-6. Dakin 6-4. Ripster 5-5. And Blue Dog 4-7. Blue Dog, the only person on Ultraviolent going negative, while Emilio, Pokelogan, and Dr. Phil are all going negative for Wonkru. And it's going to be the bottom floor again, and Wonkru have quite a big advantage with the utilities that they have. They have 4 heals and 4 Vezins, as Pokelogan 6 with the RCP. And Ultraviolent is going to need to eco at least potentially another round. Yeah, potentially next round they'll have some Vezins. Dr. Phil taking some pot shots. They definitely know that Ultraviolent have entered through the garage. And Pokelogan is actually up on the bridge right now, but Dakin and Philibust are going the other way. On the top floor is Blue Dog downstairs in the lobby. And Emilio takes out Blue Dog, who was down roaming the lobby. Emilio looks to have roamed and has rotated back into the site. Pokelogan watching, doesn't quite see anybody there. Stanky has flanked back around into Orange Storage, is stuck there with the Taurus, as Wonkru are trying to wall bang through that wall there. Ripster and Stanky are outside as Dakin and Philibust upstairs. And there's a minute 50 left on the clock. What do you do here if you're Ultraviolent? That's a big question. They don't really have the power to fight this. They're going to need to rely on those one-taps from Stanky and Dakin. Because I'm not sure Spectrals will do the trick here. Philibus taking some fire through the walls. And it looks like Ultraviolent is kind of stuck. They don't really know how to approach this. Ripster. Oh, and Luke does take out Dakin with the Trip Mine. And it's now a 3 versus 5. Ripster quite low on health. Philibus in the orange storage. As Emilio throws down that instant, continues to delay Ultraviolent from reaching in. And Emilio takes some shots at Philibus. Doesn't quite kill Phil. And the wall is open. Emilio takes out Philibus. Has a very, very good spot as Dr. Phil takes out Ripster. And it's now just down to Stanky, who has come from behind and takes out Emilio, but gets taken out by Luke. And it's 4-6. Currently, Ultraviolent does have match point. And this may potentially, this is going to be their second chance to close out the game as the team looks to go for those Vezins. And they're going to need to make this work because next round, if they don't do this, they're going to have to eco again. And then that would be it. So it is very, very important that Ultraviolent does not lose this round, because otherwise they're going to be in an even worse position and could potentially leave the door open for Wonkru to capitalize and void the point, taking it into Skyscraper. And that would be quite bad for Ultraviolent. All right, as Ripster, just outside of Blue Hallway, makes entry, and Luke is actually waiting upstairs, exchanging some fire with Ripster. But Luke rotating out and going, potentially catching Blue Dog here. Oh, and does get Philibus quite low, but does not kill any of the the Ultraviolent players. Excuse me. Oh, and it's going to be a hatch play here as Ripster blows both the hatch and the wall. This gives them a good angle into control room. And Poke Logan takes out Stanky and Ripster from behind. Dakin kills Poke Logan. Emilio takes out Dakin. And it's now a 3 versus 2. And Blue Dog still watching up top. And if Wonkru wants to win this, their best bet is to probably not peek that hatch again. And just kind of wait for Philibus and Blue Dog to make a move. Again, very, very important that Blue Dog wins this round. But it's going to be quite difficult for them to do that now. Emilio doesn't have a heal, but both Dr. Phil and Rim have one. Meanwhile, Philibus and Blue Dog actually do have heals. So in terms of utility, it's a little bit even, as Ultraviolent does have a bit more in terms of utility than Wonkru. But Wonkru does have an extra player. Blue Dog checking upstairs, making sure no one else is up there, going around for the flank. And Philibus is going through assembly to go around to control room the long way. And Dr. Phil is watching conference while Emilio watches the control room. And Rim behind the bomb in A. So they have their bases covered. The question is, can they pull this off? There's now 30 seconds on the clock. And those Wonkru players are going to need to lock it in here if they want to secure this this victory. Oh, as Philippist does take out Rim through the wall. And Blue Dog in Site B takes Dr. Feelgood, takes out Philippist, and Blue Dog for the Wonkru win. And it's now 5-6. This could be really, really bad for Ultraviolent as they go into the last round with no one being able to buy a Vesson. Oh, and they're gonna. It looks like they're gonna eco here, but yeah, I don't know. I'd at least buy an RCP. I think you have a better chance with an RCP maybe than a Spectral, but Philippist is going for the Taurus. Blue Dog with the Omen. This could be very big for Wonkru. And it could be devastating. Absolutely devastating for Ultraviolent. It seems like, you know, defense was the side to be on here. Ultraviolent starts off the game going 6 rounds on defense with absolutely no problem. But suddenly when they get on offense, they're struggling. And we saw Wonkru. They were struggling on offense here too. So potentially factoring maybe a difficult offense map for both of these teams. One thing's for sure though, everything's going to be settled on Skyscraper. But before that, this very critical round, deciding who's going to get this win and who can potentially come out of this match the winner. No one can win this except for Ultraviolent win this. But Wonkru is definitely going to aim for that draw. As the Ultraviolent players currently out on the rooftop, Philippist does drone in blue hallway. As Blue Dog and Stanky open up the blue stairs. And Philippist is in a really bad spot to drone. Very, very lucky that no one from Wonkru didn't go into the generator window, because they could have easily taken out Philippist. And the hatch is blown by Ripster and Dakin. Are they going to drop? We'll see. As Philippist, Stanky, and Blue Dog all in the blue hallway. And Luke and Dr. Phil both watching A, as Emilio is in lockers. Logan also in lockers. And Rim in Site B. Stanky goes wide. Oh, and Emilio throws a frag in there. Almost takes out Dakin. Emilio takes out Stanky, and that door blocker was very calculated. It completely blocked off any kind of flank on Emilio. And Wonkru is dug in. And Dr. Phil takes out Blue Dog. And this looks pretty bad for Ultraviolent right now as Dr. Phil takes out Philippist. And it's now just down to Ripster and Dakin. And Wonkru definitely knows they're in that room right now. They have both Emilio and Logan in lockers. Oh, and Ripster is kind of trapped in there. And all it takes is one small push. Oh, and a frag there! As Ripster has absolutely nowhere to go, is trapped in the cage there. As Dakin takes out Logan, and Rim takes out Dakin. And Wonkru have tied up the factory and have completely denied the point from Ultraviolent, who at the start of the second half looked like they had all but secured this win. An incredible comeback from Wonkru. Let's take a look at the scores here. And eventually, Wonkru did come back. Luke on top with a 10-7. Rim 9-8. Emilio 9-7. Dr. Phil 8-8. And Logan 7-9. Meanwhile, on Ultraviolent, both Stanky and Philippist went 11-9. Dakin 8-7. Ripster 5-8. And Blue Dog 4-10. Absolutely devastating for Ultraviolent. Wow. But of course, we're not done yet. We do have our third map to go to yet, which is Skyscraper. And this is going to decide all the marbles here. Okay, let's take a look at our players here. Wonkru starting off on defense, and Ultraviolent is going to start off on the offense. Ripster's the captain, almost bottom fragging. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ultraviolent. It was very weak from Hideout. That was 7-2 with Wonkru winning that, and then the tie there. It was just a straight 6-6 streak from Wonkru, completely denying that point. So Wonkru stands to potentially win this and walk away as the winner of the official match. The spawn is server, broadcast mixing. And Stanky, I thought Stanky was going to go for the red room, but not quite. Not sure what the plan from Ultraviolent here is. Ripster is already in the building. And Luke is on the south stairs waiting for the Wonkru player, the Ultraviolent players to show up. Potentially almost catches Ripster as Dakin is taken out by Logan. And Podcast is completely shut down as an opportunity. And Ripster is taken out by Luke, who gets an amazing play, an amazing flank there. Well, I guess it functions as both. Philibust going through the vent, and Stanky just outside of the red room. And there's one more, Blue Dog. Blue Dog is still on the roof. Not quite sure what the plan is from Ultraviolent. They seem a bit disorganized, whereas the last time they had a lot of coordination. Dr. Phil is taking some pot shots. Definitely knows that someone is in the red room, and Blue Dog and Philibust both in the vent right now. Dr. Phil quite low, but does get Stanky on 1 health. Wow, that was incredibly close. And Rim looks to take over for Dr. Phil. It's a 4 versus 3, and Stanky actually does have a heal. Ultraviolent went pretty expensive in round 1 as Rim takes out Blue Dog USA. Rim takes out Philibust. And Stanky does finish off Rim. But it's about to get cut off by Logan. Oh, and Logan takes out Stanky. And the first round is going to go to Wonkru. Ooh. It's not a good start for Ultraviolent. They did go quite expensive that first round, and so they're going to need to be extra careful with their eco here. They're going to have to get that round 3 Vezin if they want to get any kind of contention with Wonkru. Right now, they're struggling a bit. I won't lie. And hopefully they get their strategy a little bit better. Last time it seems like they're kind of all over the place and nobody really knew what the plan was. Even if you're all going to rush in a window, at least make sure that your team knows what you're doing. Because teamwork is everything in this game, as well as your aim. But even a coordinated team, if you have enough people there, if you're only going against one person, somebody on that team is bound to kill them at one point. So it looks like Dakin and Ripster going in through the north stairs. It's a Stanky droning. And Blue Dog potentially going into Podcast. But Luke is waiting in mixing and is spotted by the drone. And Dakin and Ripster still on the roof. Philibust going over to the south stairs, and Logan is actually waiting right there. Oh, I actually love that spot. I highly doubt Phil is going to check that. It seems like something that you can very easily forget. It all depends on Logan's patience. Does take out Philibust and secures that kill. Ripster does now know that Logan is there, and Luke does have Logan's back. As Ripster takes out Logan, and Luke takes out Blue Dog. Is getting pushed by both Ripster and Stanky from behind. Luke is kind of pinched, but does have the EMP there. And takes some shots from Stanky. Does take out Stanky. And it's now up to Ripster. Takes some shots from Ripster. Luke has some very good movement. Has a very good game sense. And it's now a 2 versus 4. And if you're Wonkru, honestly, I'd go and reinforce Luke. Because they have the EMP right there in broadcast. And both of their players are pushing. And Luke looks to escape and head back to friendly ground as Emilio covers. All right. They're still in broadcast at the moment. Unclear. I mean, yeah, there's a door blocker there, so they're going to make a lot of noise. That's going to draw attention. Even hitting it, it's slightly more quiet. But oh, Dr. Phil does take quite a headshot from Ripster there. Ripster is taken down by Luke. As Dakin looks to approach from behind. Takes some shots from Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil finishes off Dakin to take round 2 for Wonkru. Pretty decisive win for them there. Luke Poco Logan with probably my favorite flank spot on Skyscraper, which is those little boxes just off of the stairs there. If you're patient enough, you can really capitalize on that. Maybe get 1 player, 2 players, because people forget to check that corner when you go in on their stairs, and it's very important that you do, because you can see with Poco Logan exactly what happens there. Is this map 1 or 2? This is map 3. Wonkru have won the first round, which was on Hideout, and then they tied the second game on Factory. So now Wonkru is ahead in the points, and Ultraviolent technically doesn't have any. I'm not sure if they tie it again, what plan is, if they go to Kill House to finish it off. I'll need to double check on that. Yeah, Ultraviolent definitely struggling here. Might be having an off game. Philibust is upstairs, breaks through the north stairs. And the rest of the team looks to breach just, maybe potentially lobby. Or it could be lounge just off of conference here. Yeah, it's definitely going to be the lounge just off of conference. As Philibust is on the stairs over there. And Ripster, Dr. Phil, Dakin. Dr. Phil takes out Dakin and Ripster. Stanky takes out Dr. Phil. Amelia takes out Stanky. And just like that, the push from Ultraviolent is completely shut down. Philibust potentially getting Poco Logan here. Does get Poco Logan. And it's now just down to Philibust. Oh, as Rim takes out Blue Dog. It's now just down to Philibust. And does have that Vezin, does have a flash, does have foam. Potentially can get this. It is a 3 versus 1. But again, it's going to be quite difficult. This Wonkru is going to be expecting Philibust. Does blow the hatch. But there's a door blocker there and double trip mines. It's a great thing that Philibust did not go down the steps very fast. It's unclear whether Wonkru would have heard that. Probably. The Vezin's not a very quiet gun. But they are across the map. And another thing to consider, Philibust does not have the EMP. Drops into conference there. Oh, spots Rim. Luckily, all the Wonkru players. Oh, as Emilio takes out Philibust. to secure that third round for Wonkru. I was going to say it was a good thing for Philibus there because all of the Wonkru players were kind of in front of them. So there was some potential there. You didn't have to worry about getting flanked, but Emilio, too quick with the headshot. And round 4. Wonkru currently has the lead here. Let's take a look at our scoreboard. Luke, a 4-0 game right now, going flawless. Dr. Phil, 3-1. Logan 3-2. Rim, 3-1. And Emilio, flawless game right now, 2-0. As every member of Ultraviolent is currently going negative. Stanky, 2-3. Ripster, 1-3. Philibust, 1-3. Blue Dog USA, 0-3. And Dakin, 0-3. And round 4 here, let's take a look at our eco. Yeah, Wonkru, they've got the Vezins, they've got the heals. And it's another eco round from Ultraviolent. So it's another very difficult breach here. And Ultraviolent is getting to that point where Wonkru's going to have so much money that it's going to be difficult to get any rounds on this. Luke peeks Blue Dog USA and Dakin. Throws that frag. That's going to get Stanky too. Oh, not quite. But does get Stanky very low as Ripster takes out Logan. Ripster is actually in broadcast. Oh, but the sites are a whole floor below. Luke was just upstairs roaming. I sometimes get confused where the sites are in this map. I know I probably just looked at it, but still. A frag is thrown, but Luke is long gone. Ripster is quite low. Stanky, quite low. Philibust is at 100 health. Yeah, they're in a very bad spot right now. They don't even know where Luke is. As Stanky does recover the breaching foam. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of Ultraviolent. What do you try here? They're gonna go for the hatch, but I highly doubt that Wonkru would push. As Dr. Phil takes out Ripster. And it looks like their plan was to just go all in there, as Philibus does plant on the wall, and Stanky's actually buying all the time that they needed to plant the EMP. And it's now a 3 versus 1, or it's a 3 versus 2, as Stanky watching the vent, and Rim looks to come from the vent. Stanky looks away, potentially the wrong time, is taken out by Rim. And they know that Philibus... Oh, there goes Philibus, taken down by Rim. And it was close. It was very close. Philibus probably didn't really need to peek that, or maybe should have repelled. Yeah, ooh, it's a tough game for them right now over on Ultraviolent. They're quite behind in the economy, as the sites go back to storage and green room. Okay, but Ultraviolent does have Vezins. They don't have the money for heals right now, but they are matching with those Vezins as we're on round 5. So next round is going to be halftime. And Ultraviolent going all in on the Vezins, meaning if they don't get this here, they're going to be spending the next round again with pistols. So, yeah, Ultraviolent is definitely going to want to try and make as much progress as they can with these Vezins. And just from Logan and Luke and even Rim now, we're seeing so much roaming from Wonkru that's just catching Ultraviolent completely off guard. I mean, even the moment they get on the stairs, look, as Blue Dog and Philibust are going in on the south stairs. As Dakin and Ripster. Well, Ripster goes in through podcast. Dakin looks to follow. Blue Dog is currently peeking the stairs. And Luke isn't there. Luke is definitely spotted. Now Luke takes out Blue Dog as Ripster takes out Poke Logan. And Philibus looks to go through the wall, the door there. And Philibus takes out Luke TV. Luke DV, not TV. Okay, and they have fended off, Ultraviolent has fended off the threat of the Wonkru roamers, the curse of the Wonkru roamers, who roam the hallways looking for early kills. And Rim has taken out Philibus. Rim with excellent control over the lobby there, retreats back behind the door blocker for some safety. So Ripster and Stanky are both watching the angle now, pushing out into lobby. And Rim is just watching the door blocker there. The door blocker is now down as Dakin is flanking around the catwalk, looking to go behind Rim. And Ripster and Stanky have actually retreated. Oh, and they've definitely heard Dakin go in. Dakin potentially might get peeked here. Oh, by Phil. Phil's looking to cut them off. As Dakin trips that proximity alarm. And Phil definitely hears Ripster and Stanky just outside. As Ripster goes in, does get the headshot on Phil. Emilio takes out Ripster. Frag is thrown. Oh, and Rim throws that frag. And it takes out Stanky. And Dakin is left to retreat out the window. Oh, you better get inside, Dakin. Okay, Dakin does get inside fast enough. As Wonkru potentially looks to cut Dakin off here. But Dakin does take the safer way under the hallway. Looks to flank around. It's a 1 versus 2 with 30 seconds on the clock. Dakin does have the EMP and a Vezin, but is going against Rim and Emilio. Emilio anchoring the sights there. Oh, and Dakin is stuck in that static field. They definitely know that Dakin is there now. As Rim just outside the door, and Dakin is potentially going for the rush. Oh, and Dakin clips through the wall, and Rim takes out Dakin through the wall. I think that's legal. I think it is. Wow. Oh, it's getting devastating here for Ultraviolent. Somebody in the chat, no. Is it legal to shoot somebody through the wall if they're clipping through the wall? I don't see. I mean, I don't know if it is or not. If it's considered exploiting or whatever. I think either way, Dakin was probably dead there. One way or another, they're either going to time out the round, going to get killed by Emilio, or going to get killed by Rim. So I'm not sure if that counts or not. Thought it was not legal. It's kind of unavoidable. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might ask about that in the Discord later. As Dakin opens up the window into podcast. The penalty for that may be 2 rounds, I think. Forfeit to Ultraviolent. Stanky enters in through lounge, and Poke Logan is in storage right now. Ripster, the only one on Ultraviolent able to afford an RL in the vent right now. Ripster and Dakin. Ooh, they're quite loud in there. As they take the red room for safety. Shoot out the window in case they need to make a quick getaway. And Rim is currently watching the door. Oh, they're at the door blocker, and Rim is pointing that out. And there are 3. Oh, no. Oh, no. Poke Logan is on the move. Stanky. Oh, no. Poke Logan drops all 3 of them. Oh, man. Poke Logan with... Oh, Poke Logan takes out Blue Dog, Stanky, and Philibus. And it's just left over to Ripster and Dakin. This is halftime, by the way. So they're going to swap sides afterwards. Oh, it's getting pretty brutal for Ultraviolent here. Some shots are exchanged through the wall in server room. Ripster, about to round the corner, is taking shots from Emilio. And Luke goes to peek that. And Dakin and Ripster still stuck in this room. Oh, it looks like they have opened up their options as Ripster looks to leave and Dakin follows closely. There's less than a minute on the clock. All 5 players from Wonkru are alive. They all have Vezins. And Ripster has an Auril. Dakin has a Cadillo. They both have heals. So you kind of have to weigh your options here. What exactly are they going to do? Potentially a breach through podcast. There's 30 seconds on the clock now. Oh, and Emilio seems to have caught them. Emilio catches Ripster. Rim takes down Dakin, and Wonkru have won the first half. And all they need right now is one more round to win the entire match between the two teams, that is. Let's take a look at the chat here. The rules call it an exploit, shooting a player that you see clipping through a closed-off wall or a barrier that is not penetrable. That's just round L, though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the shot through the wall, you know, did kill, I believe it's Dakin early, but I don't know if Dakin was even going to win the round to begin with. So I'm going to ask about that in the Discord later on. And we'll see what comes out of that. And let me quickly customize the league settings here. Yes, Wonkru is currently on the attack. Looks to close everything out on the pistol round. We're seeing some droning from Emilio. And Ripster is upstairs. Quickly runs downstairs. As Luke and Emilio go in through the north stairs. Rim, Dr. Phil are in the lounge. Blow the hatch into Site B. Are they going to potentially drop here? It looks like they're going to breach through the lounge potentially. Philibust is roaming. Heading back upstairs right now as Logan takes out Ripster. And Dr. Phil is just outside. Oh, and that frag is definitely going to take out Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is taken out by Dakin's frag grenade. Stanky takes out Emilio. And Rim intercepts Philibust. It stops the counterplay there. But Wonkru is quite low. Logan taking out Blue Dog, but does get killed by Dakin. It's now a 2 versus 2. Stanky's on 4 health. Rim is on 1 health. And Luke is on 61, while Dakin is on 39. All right, let's take a look at where Dakin is right now. Dakin in conference room, watching the hallway. And Stanky watching the hatch still. Oh, as Dakin is taken out by Luke. Oh, Luke was so close to killing Stanky through the wall. Some shots are exchanged. Stanky takes out Rim. So Luke is the last one up, looking to get that wall bang through the wall, but Stanky is not going anywhere near that. Stanky is on 4 health. Even just like one bullet from any gun would kill Stanky right now. There's less than a minute on the clock, and Wonkru do not have the EMP right now. That's actually in Site B. It's Luke just above the hatch right now, looking to get the jump on Stanky. Does drop down. Stanky now knows. Oh no, Stanky doesn't know. Did Stanky hear that? Oh, Stanky hears that. Stanky hears the spectral. Oh, I probably wouldn't peek that. Stanky, no. Oh, Stinky is taken out by Luke, and Wonkru have 7-0 Ultraviolent in the third match. That would declare them the official winner of this very official BCL match. The question is, was the play about shooting through the wall legal? People are saying like it's going to be the same outcome either way, and I tend to agree with that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to ask about that later. As a very good performance from Wonkru. Let's take a look. Stanky with the 5-7 Ripster 4-7. Philibust 2-7. Dakin 2-7. Blue Dog 0-7. Luke 9-1. Very good from Luke. Rim 10-2. Very good from Rim. Logan 8-5. Dr. Phil 4-4. And Emilio 4-1. Nobody on Wonkru went negative, and everybody on Ultraviolent went negative. As everyone is leaving now, that's going to do it for today's stream. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy this, please consider following because I'm quite active when it comes to casting here. And I'm always looking to cast more matches. So if you do have a match that you want to have casted, feel free to reach out to Gibular Bob in the Discord. And that's going to do it for now. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye.